Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Casler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, here with another episode of Ask Dave. I was at Pacificon in October, and we had a good time. While I was there, I stopped by the ham radio outlet booth. They have a large booth there. I think it's 3 booths wide, and is a major presence at the event. And I started talking to one of the guys. And now, one thing I have never done for my radio here is get a proper headset. Now, I used to use a headset with my Ten-Tech all the time. And then I used that same headset with my Yaesu and was able to do a lot of tweaking of the treble and mids and bass and so on. But I had to set it aside when I got the ICOM because it's the wrong kind of microphone element. This is the microphone for the ICOM 773. It's a pretty boring little affair. It's got some buttons on it for up and down, which is real nice for getting in. It changes the frequency slightly up and down. And then this plugs into the traditional 8-pin microphone connector. But I wanted a headset, and I took a look at the Pro 7. Now this is a picture of the box. Now it says IC element, and that's important because the little I stands for ICOM, and it has the right kind of element for ICOM, which is different from the impedance and voltage of the microphones used for Yaesu, Kenwood, Ten-Tech, and so on. So it's the Pro 7, a communications headset. And note the features here. Included features and accessories: a coiled cord and a straight cord. Now, I prefer the coiled cord because it then gets out of the way when you're done using it. But there's a straight cord in there too. It's an interesting thing that they would do to include both cords. It has 2 different kinds of ear pads, leatherette and gel. And the gel are very shiny. I stuck with the leatherette because those seem to be the kind that I wanted. But again, they're giving you options, both options, right in the same box. Now, they also have a phase reversal switch. Now, what that does is it takes the wire elements going to the 2 earphones and swaps them on one side so that you're getting phase reversed. And instead of hearing a single voice in the middle of your head, you hear something that kind of spreads out a little bit. I find it much more pleasant, and so I've just left it on phase reversal. They have cotton ear pad covers that you can use if you want to, for example, at field day, lots of people use your headset. Then you can take those off, wash them, and put them back on. It also has a balance control over on this side, so you can move the center point around a little bit in there. And then it has a push-to-talk fob. It's a small switch. Some people actually will put it on something they can hit their knee against to transmit. I prefer a foot switch. I'll show you what that is. But now with the headset, I have both hands free, and I can put my foot on the switch, which is not a Heil switch. It's one that I got a long time ago. And then at the same time, your hands are free. You've got your microphone and your earphones. It also mentions here that the AD1 cable is required. The Heil headset always comes with 2 cords, and one of them is to plug into your phone jack or your earphone jack, and the other one is for going into your microphone input. Now, you buy the adapter, and what the adapter does, it will take those 2 outputs. One you plug directly into the rig's headphone jack. The other one goes between the headset and the radio and gets the pins all in the right order. And then there's another accessory that you can plug the foot switch into. So it's all just done. Now, I keep them up here because that's a handy place. It's out of the way and yet very handy. And this is what they look like. You keep the microphone just a little bit over to the side. And they're very nice. They're very quiet. These are not noise-canceling headsets. But with the solid ear cover piece on here, they do a pretty good job of keeping the noise out. So, and this phase switch, in phase or out of phase. Now, it'd be easy to misinterpret that as the phase shift feature is out or the phase shift feature is in. What it really means is, do you want the signals out of phase or in phase? And this is surrounded by a little cover so that you won't hit that by accident. Now, let's go do our traditional unboxing. Here is the Heil ham radio headset right here. I picked this up. It's the Pro 7 model. It's a communications headset, and it's got the IC element. This is I is for ICOM, and the C is, it's a capacitor mic, I think, which is different from all the others. You got to get the right one, and it requires a cable AD1, and it turns out that's a family of cables, so you need to make sure that you get the right one. And let's take a look at what's inside. Ham radio headset. I picked this up at Pacificon. Okay, this is a microphone with a headset. Here is the cable. It's AD1 IC. Okay, this is the basic headset right here. Okay, and it's got pillow cushions on it, and it has a phase. You can switch phases on one of these. Here's the left side balance right here. Okay, and that's balancing between the two sides. Let's just take a look at the instruction here. Lots of pieces. Pro 7 is an aviation style headset designed for amateur radio use. Either an HC7 dynamic tailored response or the IC high output electret element for low-level ICOM inputs. Okay, so not a capacitor, it's electret. An additional HC74 dynamic DX contest element is sold separately. To swap the elements, remove the two flat head screws, remove, replace, whatever. Okay. Balance control. It's got balance control headband adjustment. Okay. And the frequency response is really quite good. Way better than you need for amateur radio. Polar pattern, cardioid. Microphone impedance 1.5 k ohms, speaker 32 ohm, output levels here, weight. There's a phase reversal switch for the speakers which acoustically moves the signal around. Reversing the phase creates a spatial widening of the sound field, making it easier to hear a radio signal in a pileup, as well as removing listening fatigue. Signals out of phase arrive at slightly different times. Some are slightly canceled, while others are accentuated, which becomes a perfect tool for picking out the weak ones. Okay, so it shows a cord plugging into this one. Now we've got the cord. Here's your basic cord. These look like extras that can be put away in these little bags. Okay. And this right here is actually a foot switch. You can put it anywhere. You can put it on anything, and you just tap it, and the thing will go on. Now, as it turns out, I have a foot switch. This is a Jetstream JTFT1. There's a 10-foot cable. There is the URL for it. Okay. And made in Korea. And you just put your foot down on this, and it goes push to talk. So let's see what we're going to do here. This plugs in here. And so we'll see where the empty spot is and give ourselves a plug in. There we go. Okay, now we've got this, which comes to this. All right. Now, we can take this as an extra. This is the adapter. Now, I got these from Ham Radio Outlet. They had a large booth at Pacificon. They were selling lots of stuff. Goes in here. This goes in here. Okay. That's the microphone, and this is the push to talk. And we take the old mic out and plug in the new mic, which is this end of the adapter. Now, being this is a completely new microphone, we're going to also hear through this. And so this goes into the back of the radio. It's the external speaker right there. Let's just try out a couple things here. The way it goes on is this way. The microphone is on the left. Okay, so now we've got the foot switch connected up. We'll wrap that around next to the trash can. I've got the microphone part done. I think I'm going to push it under there and hook it around that bail. And then we have the thing ready just for fun. 140 meters, see what we hear. Okay, it comes right over the top of the head. You can squish this a little bit if you want more pressure. Now you want the mic not directly in front, not like an aviation mic. You want the mic about there, okay? That should work okay. Hello test, hello test, hello test. Oh, that looks very nice. Now I'm going to want to adjust this a little bit so it's a little more treble heavy, and we'll see what we get out of it. Okay, it's hooked. So the phones is a stereo. Phones meaning headphones. The microphone is mono. Okay? And then this is for push to talk right here. All right, we've got it on there. So the parts we have left over, this will go down on the floor. Okay, this right here, and this is actually a foot switch, although it has a very short cable. And it's designed to be clipped on something so that you can push on it while you want to transmit. I prefer the foot switch. We got a little bumper sticker and rather incomplete instruction manual that doesn't talk about the adapter. Here's a different pair of earmuffs. This is more memory foam kind of thing. It's nice of them to include it. So we've got this thing installed and working. We had a little problem mixing up cables, but got that all fixed. Well, that was cool. We saw a lot of the things that they put in there. I do have to say this about Heil headsets. Bob Heil, who has recently became a silent key, did a lot of interesting things for audio. He is the one who worked with all the early rock bands to help them get the sound they wanted. And he did it for many, many different rock bands. He is about the only, or one of the very few, non-musicians that is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And he was well known for this all throughout the community. Now, he happened to also be an amateur, so he put a product line out for amateurs. It's much simpler. So if you go to heilsound.com, you will be given pictures of his commercial stuff, but what you need to go to is the amateur piece of that, so you can get all the things that he's done for hams. Some very interesting things that he's done. I have the greatest respect for him. I met him at, I think it was the Albuquerque Ham Fest a few years ago. And so this is a Heil creation. It's created with the same attention to detail he paid for the rock sound. It's just great. Now today I was playing with my radio on 10 meters just for fun and happened to hear up in the general portion of the band a station in southern Brazil and was able to work it with the Heil Pro headset. So my very first contact with it is DX. So there you have it. If you would like to help this channel keep going, please take a look at dcasler.com/support for ways that you can do it, or go to patreon.com/KE0OG, or right from the page where you're watching this, you can become a member of this channel. We acknowledge our members, our Super Chat helpers, the PayPal subscribers, and the Patreons. Every month we put up a list, it'll be at the end of this video, showing all the great people that we're very grateful for. So there you have it. Until we next meet, 73.